Grammy boy. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Right, boy. Yeah, man.
I just trying to be like, I don't know.
Get see, man.
I need one hanging. I gotta get it. Let's do this thing, man.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
I'm an intellectual.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Kem, and welcome to another episode of the Flying Intellectual Podcast. Super special edition for a lot of many different reasons. But let's start from the top. Once again, welcome the FYI podcast, where we inform, inspire, and interact. And that is what we'll be doing tonight with two very special guests that hail from the same waters that I hail from, the Virgin Islands waters, the Caribbean waters. These two gentlemen, we are friends. We go back a ways. And now they have gone to a place of a whole different stratosphere in music. We all grew up in music. These two gentlemen are a lot of ways world-renowned. They ain't gonna say that themselves because they stay off of the grid. But sometimes that's the best. They're laughing already, but that's the best. That's the best way. You know, you're working and you're not paying attention to what's going on the outside. So I'm gonna just give a quick rundown of who we have this evening. First of all, we have Cori P. Alexander, hails from the island of St. Thomas by way of Puerto Rico. I didn't know that. That was actually...
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I don't know how I missed that. But
yeah, a lot of people don't know.
Yes, but Corey's from St. Thomas. That's all that matters. Don't worry about where he was born. Grew up in St. Thomas, worked his way through music, worked his way to actually getting degrees in music as well, going to Florida... FIU,
yep,
correct?
FIU.
Yeah, FIU, got a bachelor's in jazz performance. So he's also an instrumentalist. And then got into Atlanta, where he went to SAE and got a degree in audio engineering as well. He has worked with the likes of, this list is kind of crazy. I'm going to just run through some of them. Benita Jones, Chandler Moore, James Fortune, Darwin Hobbs, Jeffrey Golden, Miranda Curtis. The list goes on. And this is on a production and audio engineering side of things. Now he has his cousin, his right hand, his best friend, peas in a pod. Kyle Francis.
That's right.
Kyle is also from St. Thomas. He wanted to let I know he's from Anna's as well. They both are from Anna's. rep the set. All right,
rep the set, man.
Kyle is a songwriter, singer extraordinaire, and also in the audio engineering space as well now. Kyle has done work as well with Maverick City, Chandler Moore, Vito, Charles Jenkins, Dante Moore, Timothy Reddick. Dante Bo. Did I say Dante Moore? Dante Bo. I apologize there. And many more. These guys are now a super audio engineering team that work for Corey's company. And they both are in cahoots, I would say. CPA Studios Atlanta, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Where they are now really building that audio engineering front. So please, with all that being said, let's welcome to the set Cori Alexander and Kyle Francis.
That was good, Kem. That was good.
That was a really nice. It was okay. Yeah.
You make me sing better than I
Yeah,
really
okay, no. But the main reason I didn't want to give it away too soon is, you know, because I don't want to put a timestamp on it, but somewhere recently there was some Grammy winnings here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. You didn't know that you won 2 Grammys.
Crazy.
So that's a long way from the Virgin Islands. Thank you for allowing me to interview y'all and have a conversation with y'all. Obviously, we go way back.
For sure.
Yeah,
it was only right.
Yeah, it's only right. I appreciate that, man. It feels like I had to get this done. So we're here. And I just wanted to, my platform is about informing, inspiring, and interacting. And those are the 3 I's that I feel like are necessary for us to really kind of bring our communities together. And a lot of times our stories don't get told, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of times we don't want to tell our stories. Right. I say that to y'all because we obviously joke off camera and in our private lives about, I had to tell her, hey, you gotta show a little more, like, and not because of like for any validation or anything, but hey, it's just the generation we live in now. Is like you have to kind of document the process for people to see. Oh, CPA
Absolutely.
Studios
Yeah.
Atlanta is really doing a lot of stuff out here.
Absolutely.
So
And also content is fed to the masses at such a quick rate now
right.
that everybody has a really short attention span. So unfortunately, the byproduct of that is now out of sight,
out of mind. Right,
Yeah.
right, and that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
'cause if it's up to me, I ain't posting nothing.
Yeah. You just want the work to speak for itself.
Just
Yeah.
keep,
you know.
Just keep
Yeah,
walking.
just keep working, man. Keep growing and
Yeah.
keep making dope relationships.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad that y'all took the time to be on a platform tonight. So let's go back to the beginning, right?
Okay.
We from the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
Obviously y'all from across the waters.
Across the waters of St. Croix,
As the
yeah.
Tories would say, in St. Croix we say the waters, but it's okay. We all is one. I ain't here for no separation. But tell me
Please
what
don't
y'all
start it.
experience was growing up in the Virgin Islands, how that impacted y'all, what y'all remember, and even in relation to music, obviously. Corey, you could go
Okay,
first.
yeah. So I'll go all the way back.
Okay.
So all the way back, if I go all the way back, I definitely gonna start from church, from my
course.
home church, which is Mount Zion Church of God 7-day.
Yeah.
At the time, it was Pastor Bernrose. So his son Thaddeus was the drummer at the time.
Yeah,
he was
shout out
young.
Thad.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
young. You know what I mean? At the time, older than me, but young.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't know this, but y'all call him Deli Banga.
Yeah, of course. The
But
legendary.
I call him Smello.
Yeah, okay.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I
yeah,
name
yeah.
him.
That's so a lot of people don't know, but that's actually like my god brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my god brother. We grew up together.
Yeah.
Our parents, like my mom and his mom was like really good friends.
Yeah.
And we became god brothers. So my influence for music, I would say, and I gotta definitely mention one person. Another guy by the name of Bernard Clovis.
Okay.
He was definitely instrumental in my upbringing for sure. Like I
Okay.
gotta definitely put him in there too.
Yeah.
So between those three people, I feel like those people are the start of my interest for music and the love for music.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's so bad, like, I literally wanted to be just like Deli
Yeah.
and just like Wasi. What we call him Wasi.
Wasi.
Yeah,
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus,
Right?
yeah.
Yep.
So like, when they went to Ken, like I just wanted to do everything they did. So I wanted to
Yeah.
be in jazz band. I wanted to play sax like Deli.
Yeah.
I wanted to play
Which we
drums
did.
like
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
play drums like like Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they really definitely like got me started along with Bernard. He's the one that kind of introduced me to like theory and stuff like that. And then once I got to high school, I did have music teachers along the way.
Yeah.
Miss Nicholas, different people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, Mr. Nicholas. Wow.
Which is crazy. Chelsea just shouted you
Oh,
out.
for real?
Yeah, she
Oh,
saw
wow.
she saw the post I made. She
Yeah,
was like,
her
would
mom,
be so
her
proud,
mom definitely, was definitely like instrumental in when it came to like reading music and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
You want to know what's crazy? Just not to cut you off, but I want to make it clear. Like St. Thomas actually has like, this is gonna be controversial because I'm from St. Croix, but to me the best pipeline of music program from like, especially your high school.
Yeah.
There's a very strong like
Yeah.
pipeline because that relationship between what y'all learn from high school and then it translates to that program that y'all, especially UVI, jazz band, concert
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Because of like the level y'all play at in high school, especially, it's like a very smooth transition. And I recognize
Yeah.
that when I was in UVI, when a lot of high school students was coming in the evening with our jazz band,
Yeah.
and like playing at our level, if not higher.
Yeah, I
Right.
think Mr. Jones
Yeah.
was definitely like, I don't think I ever had a class with him directly.
He
I can't
left,
remember.
He left when we got there.
Yeah, but I do know like with the students that like from what I can remember, like
Yeah.
he was instrumental in like all those students reading music and being
Yeah.
at that level.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, I do remember. I just try and go through the timeline. So that was like growing up. Then once I got to high school, you had like Mr. Johnstone, Miss Rima.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, definitely Johnstone was another. He's the one that really like introduced me
the
to
jazz
American. Well,
Or-
not really even the jazz side, but
Okay.
more so like the American gospel music.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's the one that opened up my eyes to
Right.
like understanding just
Yeah.
like before moving to the States, like understanding like the basics of American gospel music.
Okay.
Cause you know, like back home, all we playing is calypso and reggae all day.
of course,
Right.
of
You
course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Even in church.
Yeah.
I try and make sure I don't miss nobody in the process. I do remember what the teacher name from Bota that did the steel pan.
Oh, Mr. Sewell.
Yeah, Mr. Sewell. I think that's his name, Mr. Sewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I was a drummer at that time.
Yeah, that's crazy. 'Cause when I
yeah.
met you, you were
I was
still-
transitioning.
Yeah, you were transitioning, but you were
Yeah.
still more so known as a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I remember that little, that was middle school with Mr. Sewell
Yeah.
on drums. Going to high school with Mr. Johnstone and Miss Rama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we fast forward to post.
Wait, don't go too far.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Let me.
I go
let
too
me-
fast.
Yeah. Let me let
Okay.
Kyle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because-
let's get through
Yeah,
St.
yeah,
Thomas.
Yeah,
St. Thomas.
because obviously Corey and I, like you said, we're cousins.
Yeah. Of course.
So our stories parallel
In a
and,
lot
and
of
it,
ways.
it bump in a lot of ways, but we also kind of separate and came back in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So like Corey said, started in church. I went to the same church.
Mm-hmm.
Same way started. Everybody wanted to go drums. You know, every little child they want to
Yeah.
make noise.
Of course.
So
Yeah. That make noise. Yeah.
So the line was long to the drums.
Yeah.
So I was always like thinking like, everybody did. Let me go here. So
Yeah.
so Bernard Clovis, definitely had me under his wing playing keys. So I started on keys.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so it was always Corey drums, I keys, and then he transitioned from drums to keys. I went drums to sing, keys to singing. But over the years we all kind of played a little bit of everything. Yeah. So we do have a lot of the same influences. I also grew up with the infamous Deli Banger.
Yeah.
But we did want to do a lot like him. So we did actually take up saxophone. So we both play saxophone.
Yeah,
We
great.
had the same teacher and everything.
Yeah. I played saxophone growing up too.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I played it in middle. We was in elementary school when we started, but I definitely played in concert band in middle school.
Okay.
Actually, middle school was like I think was a cultivation of. Well, sorry, let me go back. So my dad is actually a musician.
Okay.
My dad plays the guitar and the bass, and he sings. But it's always funny to tell this story because I haven't said it much, but the reality is my dad and my mom had split by the time I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad had like the older kids, and then I was born, he went there,
Yeah.
and then he had the younger kids.
Yeah.
And of the older and the younger, nobody does music but me.
Oh,
The
wow.
one kid he didn't raise.
Wow.
So it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think I always had the thing for music. I always was mimicking stuff, watching stuff on TV, and TV definitely is an influence of American TV.
Yeah.
Watching those type of things and mimicking and singing those things. So yes, I would take those things, go to church now, and be able to. I think in that environment I was able to now use it because I didn't have any outlet to use it at home. And then fast forward to, like I said, we played the saxophone in elementary, but I didn't really dabble in music. Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch is a
Okay,
big
yeah.
reason why for my theory, Mr. Lynch was a music was a music teacher, and he had summer programs.
When we were young, right?
Yeah, we were like
Okay.
we were real young, but we
Yeah,
kept
I
going like
remember. Yeah,
we
I remember.
kept going over the time.
I just don't remember all the names now, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I got
Yeah.
you. So yeah, Mr. Lynch was definitely instrumental for us as well.
Yeah.
He did summer programs where, I mean, anything music, whether it was playing stuff or but mostly he was a masterful piano player.
Oh, wow.
Man. In any genre really, but he was really good. And so he would teach us theory in there, and he would teach us the different instruments, and we would have recitals and all of that. So we went there for like about I don't know, probably like 2-3 years maybe.
Probably, yeah. Something like that.
Every
That
year.
was in elementary.
Yeah, elementary school. And then moving to middle school now is where I really, outside of church, that was another step further as to using all my, or even figuring out what my abilities are.
Yeah.
At this point, not many people know I could sing. I was still a very shy person,
Yeah.
very private, but I was a very shy kid. So not many people knew I could sing. Even in church, I barely really sang. I actually used to. It's so wild. I used to pretend I couldn't sing, just so people don't know.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
But now when I got to middle school, I was able to like I said, play saxophone in concert band. I was just in just about everything musical. So I played saxophone in concert band. I played I was a keyboard player for the chorus, which is like the beginners choir.
Yeah.
And then I played the bass band in steel band. So I was in just about every part of the music program.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I remember. I don't know if Corey remember this, but my mother, I was doing bad, following bad company.
Yeah, of course.
And my grades had started to slip, and that was never me. I was a A student, and my mother was like she was like, the minute she was like, okay, I gotta take you out of all this music stuff because that seemed to be the problem.
Yeah.
My grades never went up so fast.
Yeah.
Like I buckled on quick. That was how much I love it.
Yeah.
Everything I was doing. Fast forward to high school now. Now I finally not doing anything instrumental anymore. Now I go to singing. Miss James. Also, I want to shout out Daniela Greenaway. She used to go to our church, and she knew I could have sang, and she saw the potential in me. And so before I even got to UDarken, she had actually spoke to Miss James, who was a choir teacher at that time, and told her like, yeah, like this guy, put him in your like advance because he's like really good. And so I have to shout out. So I never went through like the chorus and all that, like because of Daniela's referral,
Nice.
And then and in that class we had an elective with Miss James, and it was a whole bunch of girls and barely any dudes.
Yeah.
It was like probably like 6 or 7 of us.
Yeah,
So
of course. At that point, just being in the arts was kind of like not really a thing.
it wasn't
for
a thing.
guys.
It wasn't a thing. And so Miss James from there had she was putting together a thing, and she's like, well, let's just let the guys do something, just the guys. So we sang, I think it was Silent Night by Boyz II Men, and that was the bug that bit me, and that
Wow.
was where I was like, okay, I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, singing thing is for me.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, literally, so do you feel, do any of y'all felt like you were avoiding the music route at that point, like trying to be kind of like defiant, like, because at that point you see people pushing you towards it. You said like that was the bug that bit. For you, Corey, like,
For me,
how long did it take you to like?
I always just been ready for music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my mom and my dad had bought me like a little drum, like when I was like a little kid, like
Yeah.
you're talking about like 2 years old.
Yeah.
So I think I had just naturally from young, just I always had a hunger for music.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, no, we both always did. I don't get me wrong. The bug that bit me was more like I found my space.
Yeah.
But I think before I never felt that it was my spaces because music was a little bit of a taboo in my household.
Yeah.
Because of private reasons. So it's like it wasn't that. Like I had always loved it. I had always wanted. I was always chasing it, but it just never. It was only until I got to that point where, as most people might know, or some people might know,
Yeah.
from that presentation with Miss James, came out all the way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so it was then when my mom started to be like, because she met them and we started to do stuff together, and it was a good time, and we were really good together. So my mother just started to be a little more freer with the music stuff.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff, like it was like she was like, okay, something positive, I'll put him in it. But it wasn't ever. She never like. And I love my mother. My mother and I have a wonderful relationship now.
Disclaimer.
No,
But,
But back then, it was a little tough with the music.
Yeah,
so,
of course. I mean, if we talking, with the religious backgrounds that we come from, on the one hand, I could speak for myself. That like I was raised in music, I was classically trained, all that stuff. My father, my parents were pushing me in the classical stuff and the church stuff, but like there was like a barrier of music that I couldn't touch. Right? It was like I couldn't listen to certain
My
things.
boy.
Or,
I grew up listening to WGOD.
Yeah.
So when I moved to the States, right,
Yeah.
I used to get clung.
And for those who don't know, WGOD is the gospel
Religious.
station,
Yeah,
the
it's
one
still,
gospel
it's
station in the
still
Virgin
down
Islands.
there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I
Okay,
think so.
okay.
I heard that the Adventist Church actually bought it.
Okay,
so
okay. So it's still
bought
good.
it.
It's still
Yeah,
good. That's good.
Yeah, but I haven't listened to it.
But
Yeah.
I would get clowned, bro, for the most simple songs that
Yeah.
would be on like how you don't know this song?
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
my boy, I
don't.
never listened to nothing else.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like my repertoire of music was just
And imagine
Really, really small.
he's saying when he moved to the States, this is after high school.
this is
that's
after high school.
crazy to
So
me.
think about it. After high school is when he finally
Now for me, I used to sneak. I would like. I so wanted to hear it. I would sneak like if my mother going like if we in the car and she going into the post office like I turn on I-95 real quick and like
Nah, my
listen
boy.
to like something and like that's how I would catch
From
it.
the car to the house,
Yeah.
it's WGOD.
Well, we had to put it back on WGOD. Don't leave it on I-95.
Right, you got
Who
it.
was listening to this? But at the same time, for us, it was like very taboo. Like you couldn't listen to certain stuff or whatever. But obviously, church was a big part of all of our upbringing, and church is really a big part of just the world's music. Period.
Yeah, for sure.
Our biggest superstars, for the most part, all started in church. What do we think that comes from? What do we think about the church structure that allows us to harvest this talent and be able to like build it in a way where it can be conducive and go throughout the world? What do y'all think that we could contribute that to?
I think in the church it was like the opportunity.
That's real.
It was an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
at church, like you gotta do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether you doing the dance, doing the dance team, or
Yeah.
you're on the praise team, or you're learning to play the drums or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I feel like with the church, that is a place that allows you to like actually learn a specific, whether it's drums, keys, whatever. Like,
Especially imperfectly.
ain't
in a
nobody
way.
gonna give you opportunity, but
Yeah.
the church will give you opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
So they
good
need
point.
it. Yeah,
But
that's a
most
good
people don't have those instruments at home. The first time you're gonna see it is in the
Right.
church.
Right.
Like after church, the first thing you're gonna do is run to the drums and bang on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because you don't have a drum at home.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
real.
So I think for church is the opportunity that you get to like experiment and like like if it becomes a thing,
Yeah.
like you have a space to where you could come every week and actually exercise a gift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's real. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. And then at the end of the day, it's like it's a space that you can kind of safely grow too. Because you ain't like we didn't really have that sense of like quote unquote perfection till a certain age, or like when it started becoming like a certain importance. Like when we were younger, it's like you just gonna play that day, you play, you sing. Like nobody really gonna come and critique you like, yeah, that wasn't really good today or whatever. So
I mean, there was levels of embarrassment.
oh, of course,
for sure.
for sure. Oh, for
But,
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
church could be the trenches.
But-
Oh, absolutely.
But definitely learning lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lessons
yeah.
nonetheless.
Yeah, because you gotta show up again the next week.
Yeah. And then I would segue to this too, because I didn't mention this, but in high school, I've met a group of like great guys in high school. Well, throughout middle school and high school, and we had this band called Vision Band. So so Kyle was actually like our guest artist in that sense, because he was all the way at the time.
Yeah.
But like we'll pull on them to come sing with us sometimes.
Yeah.
So it was just, because I know they're going to be vexed if I don't call a name. So let me just call a name, okay?
Just
So it
call
was
name.
myself on drums. Then you had Akeem Dawson on keys. Then you had Eddie Bosalai on bass. You had Bennis Tavernier. People probably know him as Biggs in St. Thomas.
On guitar.
On guitar. That was the whole band?
Kashim and
All right, well, I was going to get to the vocals.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the vocalist was Kashim Knight and Joseph Sylvester. We would call him Jailman.
Yeah.
And then you had Morgan Richardson from St. Croix
Yeah.
Saxophone.
on
Yeah.
sax.
Morgan Richardson Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much the band. That was the
Yeah.
squad. But that was another. We was known as the church boys in high school, right? But like I said, that was the opportunity for us to grow and learn.
Yeah.
And then in that time was when I kind of like was dabbling with keys in high school
Yeah.
in that band. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
where I kind of like started transitioning from being a drummer to like learning keys.
Right. So let's segue there because when
Yeah.
I met you, we were at UVI.
Yep.
I think we like ran into each other maybe in a music room or something,
yeah.
and like you were like we were both on the keys and you were like showing each other stuff, and then I just remember kind of like from there like you just went heavy keys. I think it's funny.
And a switch.
You just
Oh,
switched.
yeah.
You switched. I remember I had actually we had played at like a small church.
I remember that actually.
And I had actually asked you to come and you played drums. I think we got paid like something very
Yeah,
small. and
probably like
minuscule.
$50.
Yeah, but shoot, at that
Yeah, it was
point,
fun.
it was fun.
Yeah,
It was
that
fun.
We do it for free.
We do
Right,
it for
yeah,
free on a
exactly.
weekly basis. Because God gave us the gift. And,
For real.
for real. So the $50 came in handy. And then I just remember you went heavy piano, all the way obviously through college. So
Yeah.
for you, how did that? What made you really like love the piano? That to me, that's an important part of your story.
Okay, that's a good question. I don't ever
I-
think I
I'm-
ever
I'm
think-
here,
Yeah, I don't
do
think
my-
I ever
you know.
think about it.
Yeah, journalistic things.
I think for me, I don't know. The keys was just drums complicated in its own way, but I
Yeah.
feel like keys, like I think I just like. Like when like for example, Bernard Clovis, like when he was playing guitar and stuff, he used to play guitar and keys.
Yeah.
And like, we would call fat chords. Like
Yeah.
I just like to hear like fat chords.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like,
Fat
I gotta like
chords.
get into it. I want to learn more of these.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I think that was just like being on the drummer and then the keyboard
The
man and playing
curiosity.
fat chords. I like,
Yeah.
I want to be over here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like just being exposed on a wrong, like, and then when we start tapping into like American gospel music, I think just the sound of it, I was just I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause at that point we were like really YouTube had just became big.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
not even big. It was
it just started.
Yeah, just
yeah.
start out.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, for the young people out
Right,
here,
right.
like,
Like,
yeah, we were born before
We
YouTube
couldn't just go
existed.
on YouTube and type in blah blah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we had to go listen to our CD
Yep, and
Yeah.
figure it out
and figure it out.
and try to read a book someplace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
if
was-
they had a
and hopefully an
Right.
OG don't come for you like you're
Right.
playing the wrong chord, which
Right.
I had to deal with that as well,
Yeah.
But it was a lot of like listening, which helped us, in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
now I
training.
ain't gonna lie, I had to give an offering to YouTube now because if I need something quick,
Nah, for
YouTube
sure.
University
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
But that process of like playing our CD, rewinding it till it scratch up and like like
Yeah, like what
what
Yeah.
was that? Like
Yeah,
trying to slow it down. Maybe you might have a little
Nah, for sure.
slow down button, and that really made an impact to overall being a well-rounded musician for sure.
Yeah.
So for both of y'all, leaving the Virgin Islands now,
Okay.
y'all went y'all separate ways.
Okay.
You Corey, you obviously went to Florida to
Yep.
to jazz,
Yep.
the jazz side of things. Kyle, you ended up somewhere in the north.
Yeah, I ended up in New York. I just wanted to note something though.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't have the issue y'all had because my parents wasn't in church.
Okay.
So I actually could have listened to all of it.
Oh well, good
So-
for you.
Yeah.
Was
I
they-
didn't have that issue.
Yeah.
But so I actually had a opposite because when I did come to the States and or as we used to say, the Bob, I figured out I really didn't know a lot of gospel like that. Like Mr. Johnstone had introduced me to like commission and like that type of gospel. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that I like that. But
Yeah.
but I ended up in graduating. I ended up in New York, New Jersey, functioning in New York. Trying to go Berkeley College of Music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with my good friend Kimisha. She was the one who was convincing me. She was like, Kyle, you need to. So I was like, all right, give it a try.
Yeah. I think Berkeley was a dream for every musician coming out of. I mean, anywhere, but we from the Virgin
Yeah.
Islands. So at that point, it was like, if you want to make it in music, and of
Yeah.
course your parents telling you gotta go to school.
Yeah, well, might as well do
Yeah,
that.
might as well. you
So I just thought about something.
go. Yeah.
I don't know if if I really want to like share it, but I feel like it's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
Just for the journey. So I'll go back just a little bit. So I remember when I was in high school, right? I had a million jobs in high school. I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah, no,
but
you did.
I had a bunch of jobs in high school. So this is crazy to say, but I used to literally work at Sapphire as almost like a janitor, almost, but it was like for the beach. You know what I'm saying? So like I would like pick up all the trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rake the sand. Like I was pretty much like the janitor for the beach.
Yeah.
And for
like-
those who don't know, Sapphire is a hotel.
Yeah, hotel.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
St.
it's a
Thomas,
hotel. Okay.
US Virgin
So,
Islands.
yeah, so I pretty much, but I used to do it early in the morning because I was in 12th grade. So at the time, so like I didn't have like first period or whatever it was. So like I could go do this job in the morning, like early in the morning, 6 in the morning, like sun just rising.
Crazy.
Right? I'll do that day, freshen up, go to my classes. Then I think after that was at Office Max. I think that's what it was after that. So I was literally like doing a job before school and after school.
Wow.
All of this is in 12th grade, right? And then I just remember like moving to the States and then never working a 9 to 5 ever again. Like to this day, I still don't even understand how that work.
Right.
Yeah. that's
Like,
real.
you know what I'm saying? Going from like working a janitor position
Yeah.
and then you like living my dream to go to the States, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. And then I do have to make a note too. Because when I moved to the States, I was working at Ritz-Carlton, right? And I actually moved to the States to do hospitality management,
Yeah.
right? I switched from that to like music education, went back and forth, went back
Yeah.
to music,
Yeah.
I went to like regular business, back and forth, bro. I waste like a whole year trying to figure out what I want to do.
At
Literally.
least it was just a year. Some people still wasting their life right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
telling
so the journey just been. So I just try and show like you know, coming from like doing like a janitor job to like not even knowing if I want to do music for real, because like in my mind, like your mind will play tricks on you. Is like, yeah, if I do this, I probably ain't gonna really make no money. Like,
Yeah, of
you know what I'm
course.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, ain't really like a regular job. You know?
Yeah. And then where we from, the average musician that you saw wasn't really living great. If we're
Right,
being
right.
honest,
And it was more of
so
like
small
a
scale.
side
like
hustle job.
I'm a teacher, and
Yeah.
by the day, and you
Right,
see me might see me gigging at a hotel at that.
Right.
You know, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no full time.
Yeah, there was that rare. It was- I don't think I knew any at the
Yeah,
time,
I didn't know any.
unless they were like a music teacher,
Right.
and then
Which is
gigging.
still
yeah,
the teacher is a job. Not
That's
the
a
music.
job. You're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I just kind of want to just, like just bring context to like, just like where like literally just a regular high school student,
Yeah.
just like hungry and just try and grind and make this
Yeah.
money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's really like the beginning.
Yeah, I
For
mean
real,
that's,
for real.
that's what it is. I mean that's what it takes. At the end of the day, we all on a journey, and
Right.
there's no absolutes, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's no God knows our part, but at the end of the day, like we have to live this and figure it out for ourselves. So at the end of the day, you know, it's not gonna look perfect. It's very rare for that to look perfect. Even for y'all coming from all of that, you know, to a Grammy Award, 2-time Grammy Award winning in one night. That's like, it's a big gap. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
for sure.
But in between that gap is a lot of work. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we paid our price.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and that's what I'm still paying in a lot of ways,
No, for
right?
sure.
There's sacrifices we all have to make, you know.
Right.
But when you really set your mind on something, on a goal, at the end of the day, you have to be willing to make some sacrifices and put some real time into it.
Facts.
So obviously, so now you move to the States, a whole big world for both of y'all. Let's talk about kind of like, when was that moment where you were like, maybe, man, I don't know if this States thing is for me with this music, like, because we all had that moment where it's like,
Yeah.
go get a job, or
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Go work for the government
yo,
back
do
home.
something, or like your parents are like,
Okay.
yo, you really doing this?
You want to go first?
Nah, you
I go first? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I think that moment for me, I think all through Miami, I lived there for like 6 years. I
Yeah.
think all through that time. By the way, shout out to South Miami Church of God 7 Day, because that was definitely that those 6 years in Miami was definitely between school and church.
Yeah.
Is definitely what like got me, and then also Cedric Palmer as well. I got to shout him out too.
Okay.
Because he's who kind of grew me, like in church, like on the American side.
Yeah.
But you know, I kind of feel like, I forget the question.
Yeah, you got it. I'm waiting for him to like admit that. It's okay. It's okay.
The question was again?
So like,
You know him
when
so
was that
good.
moment? Because obviously we're gonna talk about the highs of the music,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
when we got
okay,
to
okay.
when we got to the stage,
yeah.
and like
Okay.
you're like, yo,
Yeah, I
Like-
guess I track.
no, you're fine.
So okay, Miami, I feel like was cool.
Yeah,
But the turning point for me was when I moved to, I feel like it was when I moved to Atlanta.
okay,
Because, well, you know this. We was talking about it earlier.
yeah,
But, you know, I got the job. Like, I moved. My partner, Derek, had set me up with my first job.
yeah,
So, like, literally, I moved and I had a gig the same weekend.
yeah,
Right? But then something happened at the church, you know, the way it didn't kind of work out. So I didn't have a job for like maybe a month, right? First time ever in my life.
yeah. No
Ever in my
income-
life. Because
no
you know me,
income
like,
coming in. Yeah,
mine is like hustle.
hustle. Yeah.
So first time I ain't get nothing, my boy.
Yeah.
Nothing. First time in my life. And then a new city.
yeah,
I ain't got no friends for
Yeah.
real. Because you know, you didn't move
yeah,
on here.
move yet, yeah,
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I lived with my cousin at the time, and like that was gonna be the first time I like, damn, I might have to really get a job. But there's the thing, I knew in my brain, if I was to get a job, right, my thought process is, if I got a job right now, the time I need to invest in my craft,
yeah,
I ain't gonna have it,
yeah,
and that's priority for me,
Yeah.
in this season. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, to answer your question, I felt like that moment when I moved to Miami, like my first few months,
Yeah.
was like the point where I was kind of like questioning,
Oh, Atlanta.
Atlanta. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like, I don't know if I could survive on this.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have to like think through something else.
yeah,
But then there's the other side of me like, but yeah, like I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like
That's-
I ain't
that's
trying
the
to, I don't
mindset.
want, the mindset was
Yeah.
like, if I get a 9 to 5, them 6 hours at this job, I losing 6 hours in my craft every day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's answer your question. I feel like that was the turning
was-
point for
that-
me. I was kind of kind of nervous about
Yeah,
if I chose the right career.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially you had a degree and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that. So like
Exactly.
yeah, but all in music.
Right, exactly.
So
All
you
the
were
music.
Like, yeah,
And ain't nothing going on with music right now.
Right.
yeah. So that's
Yeah,
tough.
that's a lot of people's story.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle? Like that moment that you were almost like, yo, I don't know about this music thing.
I had a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Was it-
just to be real with y'all, because I know it's like, oh, 2-time Grammy, but I over the years I had a lot. So I think one of the first times I was really questioning is, so I talked about moving to New York. I didn't get into Berkeley after like I had tried a lot.
Yeah.
Like I did a lot, and yeah, I didn't get in. So I was like, what did I do?
yeah.
You know. But and then back then I didn't know about community college and stuff like that.
Right. Like
But
one option.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just started with university, so
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that was one of my first lower points. Yeah, and then highs and lows
Of course.
throughout the
course.
time. Yeah,
In life, but this music business especially. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nah,
I was just going to interject. I was just going to say one thing I would say about being a creative in general. I ain't even going to say musician or
Yeah.
videographer. I feel like all of us creatives,
Yeah.
like, the average person that, that's not a creative. I mean, I feel like everybody's a creative in their own way. But there's the average person
Doesn't
that
go on the
don't do that
journey.
like full time.
Right.
I feel like they will never understand. Like, bro, you could win a Grammy today, right? And tomorrow you depressed. Right?
Yeah.
You could literally today, like, you have a conversation about with a client, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're about to do X, Y, and Z. And then tomorrow is like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like being a creative
Yeah.
is literally an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, absolutely.
Today you're on a high, tomorrow you depress.
Today you have opportunity.
And this is just me being real.
No, absolutely. Today you have opportunity. Tomorrow you don't even have a check.
Right.
Like the check that you were promised for the opportunity ain't coming through. But you do the work.
Right.
Chasing your money every time, every day.
Yeah.
So, I just want
That's
to
real.
kinda,
We have to keep it real.
Yeah.
This whole platform is about the highs and lows.
Yeah,
like,
nah, for
it's
sure.
about the journey. Like for me, it's always a FYI stand. Like flying intellectual is a mindset. So like we have to have a mindset to chase and to elevate ourselves.
Nah,
But
for sure.
between there, like
But also FYI actually does what it does because I feel like if it wasn't for I gotta put this out there too. If it weren't for your post just recognizing us, I don't really know if like even where we come from, like if they would have known to even that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
we gonna get there. We gonna get
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Well, trying to make me cry. So,
Yeah, we gonna get it. We gonna give the
It's
flowers.
it's
We
okay.
gonna give the
Nah, it's
flowers.
all good, man.
Yeah.
We here for y'all.
Yeah.
So on the flip side of that, now, because I know, let's get personal in a way.
Yeah.
Like, so you moved obviously. So now let's bring Atlanta together now. So I moved to I didn't move yet. I'm still in Maryland.
Okay.
You moved to Atlanta.
Yep.
You had a nice little situation. You after that month and stuff, your next situation was like, I remember you called me like, yo, the biggest church I've ever been to, blah blah blah. And things was cool. And then as we talking about them highs and them lows, like, how long were you there?
For that church, the one we're talking about?
Yeah.
The second one.
Like 2 years.
The second one.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah. And then
something like that.
things went crazy. And I remember you calling me like, yo, I about to leave this situation. Because things ain't right. And like, I about to come by you.
Yeah.
Like for like a week. And I was like, okay, pull up.
Right.
And I think that was like, in a way, because that was before I moved here, but like that was like a life-changing moment for both of us. Cause like I was telling you about like Maryland, these cats, different vibes, like musical, and like you finally got to like see it up close. And I never forget you told me like when you got back down to Atlanta, like, bro, I ain't never.
Yeah. So for sure.
Yeah.
That trip to Maryland when I came by you
Yeah.
was the spark I needed.
Wow.
Literally, that changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Musically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember I came by you, we spent a week. I came back, bro, and I produced like 3 things in like 2 days. Videos and everything.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep. I had a whole series on YouTube.
yeah.
You can find it on YouTube now.
Yeah.
OSUG Shed Session something. I don't know what it is now.
Oh wait, that was the
after
same
that
time?
trip.
Yeah,
Yep.
right
After that
after he came back and he was like, he gonna pull
Nah,
all the
'cause we were
musicians
still in
together.
Miami.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, so you had
multiple
started,
trips.
Yes.
The first trip was in Miami.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You went to
Yeah.
Miami, yes.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
when you came back is when you started using more Atlanta
Yep.
musician. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Because you're right. There was 2 cities you were doing at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that I just remember, to be honest, from then, I don't think Cori ever turned back. Like,
Yeah.
that was just like, he was like, yo, I think I seen what it looks like at the next level up close enough, and I get enough of it. And then you were like, and I always give my boys in Maryland their flowers, because it's not only their talent, but it's how cool they are that makes people want to be around them.
for
So
sure.
like, for those type of caliber of people, like, the Smiles of the world, Jamal Moore, Frank, Sean Walters,
yep.
all them people, JB,
JB for sure.
they didn't know, they just knew me. But they didn't know Cori, but because I was like, yo, this is my boy, whatever, they treated
All
him
love
just
him. Yeah.
just as good as they treated me. And that was part of it, where it was like, not only did you learn like how to be a better musician or whatever, it was just like, oh, I don't have to be a jerk. I could continue being myself, being a nice guy, and like that could work as well, and I could be talented, and it don't have to be like mutually exclusive.
And that's rare.
So that
in
was
these
it's very
circles.
rare. And I tell people all the time, like, when you could really kind of harvest that and like the warm humanity with like the talent, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's great. So that was like the moment I remember you
Nah, for
like really
sure.
taking off.
That
Kyle,
was the
when was
spark.
like your moment where you were like, okay, this music thing, like that one moment or that turning point for you where you were really like, okay, I'm cool with like continuing to pursue this.
Yeah. So I never okay, after New York I moved to Cali.
Yeah.
Costa Mesa, to be exact. And I was on the 9 to 5 thing.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
And I think that the spark was, so while I was in Cali, I was like, man, I was still studying music at this time.
Okay.
I was going to college at this time too. This part of the story is kind of further back in Cori's story before Miami.
Yeah.
So Cori and I split. I older than Cori, so I don't know if we have ever said that. So like a lot of things happening to me first and then Cori.
Okay.
So I moved up here before he did. So now New York, Cali. While I in Cali, I talking to my cousin Jovan Jackson.
Yeah.
And he you know, we always kept in touch, and he was just telling me like, yeah, like I get his partner Kuna, he'd be working with music too, and you know, so he introduced us over the phone. You know, we talk and we chill, and we end up talking all the time, like yo, like. And he would send me voice memo. He like, yeah, what you think? And I would re-sing it in a voice memo, and we started to work. And I think around there was where, cause in the group all the way, we had some successes. We were signed to one of the bigger labels in the Caribbean. It was a distribution deal.
Mm-hmm.
And we traveled and we did well for ourselves for the time and for the energy that we put in it. But I didn't feel like I get to exercise all I had inside.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody had a role. That's the one thing I remember about the group. I don't know if I ever shout out Mikey. Y'all know him as Mike Love, Jamal Paris, Carlo Stevens, which is Mikey brother, and Bernard Douglas, as well as Eustace, honorable mention. But yeah, everybody had a role, you know, and I felt like my role was just singing. You know, I was like the little one that was just singing. But I used to write too a little bit. I used to do all these other I used to produce with Mikey and with Clint Constantine.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like I was being, you know, I didn't feel like I was getting to get all out.
Yeah.
So when Blacks and I start to work together, songwriting and stuff, I finally were like really like digging. And that moment I was like, things were kind of going crazy in Cali, so I was like, he was like, yeah, you could come out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we could work. So I was like, cool. So I moved to Miami. It was funny because I walked into work one day and I was on the phone with Cori. I like, yeah, man, because he was like, you know, we was catching up. I was like, yeah, things kind of weird out here. I think I'm about to move to Miami. I signed up for this school or whatever. And he was like, for real? I signed up for the same school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah, it was so random. Like we didn't plan on moving
Yeah.
at the same time, but it was the same time. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I gonna move. So when I that introduction to Blacks and that move really sparked it, because now it was a hustle, you know, hence Black Hustle, ENTBHE. So we were like, he had access because he was Blacks is he have his own story, but basically he was more like a basketball man.
Yeah.
But he a lot of people didn't know he had a musical like passion.
Mm-hmm.
And so he vicariously through me he would write stuff, and I would write with him, and then we would like kind of put it together. And yeah, like that move. Sorry, I was saying that he was also an engineer. He worked as an engineer, and so he had
Go ahead. I'll shut him out after you.
Yeah. So he had he was actually working at Miami-Dade College. So he had access. He was like part of an after-school program. He had all these different jobs, but engineering. So we had all these accesses to studios that I didn't have when I was in Cali. That was a lot of the reason I moved. And so at there I was able to hone my like everything. Like he would open up Reason. He showed me how to use Reasons. He showed me how to use Pro Tools. Like Black showed me how to do everything I know how to do engineer wise and audio wise, which contributes to where we is now.
Yeah.
Because from there I was always want to do it. Even before Cori was really like into audio, like I was always the one, like he would be like, yeah, cause you do. He always would have the idea, and he would like, yeah, and we gonna do this, and we gonna do this, and we gonna do that. And I turn around and I was the one doing it by myself. Cause he'd be like, yeah, cause you got I got a client coming through and you're gonna be the one to. I'm like, okay. So but it started from Black showing me Andre Henry, showing me all those things and introducing me to those things, and just we were shooting in the gym.
Yeah.
But
Now I just wanted to shout out Blacks because literally, Blacks is literally the first person, bro, that introduced me to Pro Tools. And that's like the program we use to record everything that we've done.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
one
Over
of
the
the
past
biggest
10 years.
standard. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. So I definitely got to shout out Blacks. Deli and Jason John, definitely on the production side, is who really like took time to like get me to like understand how music come together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure I just kind of show them out in that regard. But yeah, Blacks is definitely the first person to get me hip to Pro Tools and just like digging into like software.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy because literally to this day that you still in the software, whether it was on the production side
Right.
or the audio engineering side.
Right.
So obviously you all get to a place now where, whatever that looks like, quote unquote success, whatever the little things that happen where now is like, okay, I'm a professional musician, whatever realm that is. Cori, you move into Atlanta, you would say obviously Miami you really honed your instrumentalist skills.
Yes.
Would you say Atlanta was like your production first?
Yes. I would say Atlanta for sure.
You were producing and
I was like just like the introduction of production, experimenting.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I moved to Atlanta is when I really like start digging into it more like a more professional, polished.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like Miami is more like the test run, like figuring stuff out,
But
experimenting.
But that's the funny part because we have a placement on Fox, the show Star.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that came from your figuring out phase.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Cori made the beat.
Yeah.
Blacks and I wrote to it and I sang on it. And they and this was years later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
years
Yeah, I was
later.
about to say like this happened like
It was so bad, bro. I had to go reproduce it because I had the files no more.
Yeah. And I had to
Yeah.
re-sing it.
Yeah, we had the files no more. So I had to like,
but before we go, let's use that as a just because we want to educate as well. People in the space that are trying to come up, whether it's production or whatnot. So you're saying you submitted something years prior to so it was a TV show and y'all what did you submit it as? What was it supposed to be? Was it a bumper? Was it just like some a track for the show? Do y'all remember?
So slightly. So it was because I kind of my memory bad, but it was. I do remember that it was a situation where like the show Empire. It was a music-based show, TV show. So
where they kind of using originals.
Yeah, they're using originals.
They
They
needed a
like
specific song for a specific scene.
or even like because most sync licensing is like you were saying like bumpers or like to point the background as a soundtrack of a scene.
Yeah.
But the uniqueness of the work in these type of shows was. They were shows about an artist, so not only did you need music to play behind the scene, but you also needed music for the actual character, the artist,
right?
And so that's what that was. But really it was just a submission of work. It was like stuff was needed, and so we submitted it, and they kind of decided where they felt like it fit. Yeah. And they felt like it fit.
And how long did it? Because remember, we live in a world where like instant gratification, it feels like that's the thing, right? Like because the internet make it feel like if you ain't always showing something. Same thing we were talking about earlier, but either be on y'all because y'all actually working and you're not showing outside of like people who are not really working, but like showing the little bit that they do and expecting like a quick turnaround of whatever that looks like. Yeah. You said you submitted something. And forget about it. You ain't even like thinking about it. And then like years later, you're saying, hey man, we're about to use this. And now you're talking residual. You're talking like, you know what I'm saying? You're talking what for sure. So just, I just wanted to make sure we speak into, the best things in life aren't going to be quick. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, instant. It's not gonna be something like it's not gonna be like a microwave. You really have to like put time into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna do some work and it may not go as far as you think. But that's not enough of a reason to say like ain't your journey or ain't part of your process and you're not doing the right things. So that's a beautiful story that I want to make sure we are kind of slow down
Nah,
because
for real.
you can't just speed through that like yo we submitted something and years later it came through for a TV show. Wait, what? That's you know what I'm saying? People don't really wait that long. And once again, you ain't like you waiting. But like,
we were still walking, but
Yeah,
but people don't
the
expect.
thing is right that way.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So now Atlanta, Kyle, you still in Miami?
I stayed in Miami.
You stayed in Miami.
Yeah.
Kyle has at that point now full vocalist, artistry, arrangements, vocal arranging.
Yeah, that was a big part of what I was doing during that time too. Like I spent so part of shooting in the gym with Blacks was because Blacks wasn't really a musical air, but he wasn't a singer, so I had to take what we was doing and make it a song, like background parts and all
melodies.
that. So that taught me to vocal produce. So not just creating harmonies and things like that, but actually how to execute the song as a lead. And then because I was recording myself or because I was mixing it myself or something, I had to learn how to record from the engineer brain. You know what I mean?
Right, which is a whole other place to tap into.
Yeah. So then it took me into working a lot with vocal producing for people and stuff.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And then for you, Corey, now we still at the early parts of Atlanta, you're doing a lot of the playing, you're in the like choir circuit.
Yep.
And like another thing I think is like cool to recognize, like I always used to make joke with Corey because he never strayed far from gospel. Like gospel is always once he went there, like he stayed in that realm. And I used to always make joke because he's not lying. Like when it comes to like certain popular songs and stuff, I'll play him something, he'd be like,
To this day.
I ain't never to this
day.
I ain't never really heard
never heard that one.
But
this
it's
day.
beautiful because you found your niche and you were okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you were really okay with like, yo, I'm cool with like right here, even if it don't have the most money, it don't have the most publicity, it don't have the most whatever. You were like,
That's definitely deep.
I mean that's because
I really think about it like
you could have gone secular, and there's nothing, we're not saying secular like is something bad. I'm just saying you could have gone to R&B, you could have gone I mean you do have placements. You just did Sierra and Summer Walker. That was
through Delhi.
through Delhi. That was on production side or
That was on production side. Well, more I play keys on the production side.
So more side, so that's just still your instrumentalist side. But obviously your whole brand kind of was built on gospel,
for sure,
which is so. Why do you think like why were you okay with like staying there? Or what about gospel enticed you to just kind of stay in that realm?
I think it was just comfort zone, bro.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
It's just comfort. That's all I know all my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what was the driving factor for my passion for music.
Wow.
In the beginning.
So you stayed true to the passion.
I stayed true to it.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while, I ain't gonna lie, like I would like have my doubts like, yo, if I switch over, I will literally I'll be good.
Yeah.
Because just for clarity, you know, I don't want to knock on the secular side or anything, but just for clarity, gospel music is way more intricate and intense than, you know, the average secular music.
Musically and
musically, editing, mixing, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Amount of parts in
amount
a
of
session,
time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I was to focus on that side, like I might have had way more success. You know what I'm saying?
Less headache.
Less headache, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, like it's still low key ministry for me. You know what I'm saying? So I you know, money is cool. Money gonna come. I ain't worried about money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, money gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But I really do feel like, you know, I'm very grateful because I feel like I'm in a position to where like I could do gospel and I could still feed my family. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily is a blessing. It's not necessarily like the same for like everybody.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's not. It's not.
So like I know it's a very unique situation for me. Like I ain't trying to like
Yeah.
I know it's like
Nah, but-
I'm grateful for that because it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah,
not. And
it's
then,
not easy.
because it's such a small community. But at the same time, to fast forward to where we are today, you literally won a Grammy, 2 Grammys from gospel,
Yeah, it's crazy.
which in a way is a blessing because the arena is smaller.
Yeah.
You became so good at what you did, you got to work with the greats, and like the greats of now and the greats of the past kind of colliding with your Kirk Franklin and Maverick City, which is like Kirk Franklin is our GOAT, right? This is the guy that we looked up to our whole lives. So let's just kind of fast forward it to here, like let's go to. Obviously now both of y'all are in more the audio engineering space.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the path to get into that session. Like let's talk about like within that year, whatever, like in a summary of a way.
Okay.
Tell me like how did we get to the Kirk Franklin Maverick City connection?
So you want me to go ahead and
Yeah,
put it
you
together?
good, yeah,
I'll do it
yeah.
as quick as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moved to Atlanta, did a lot of the local, people like shout out to like David Walker and all the people that
Absolutely.
David Walker is definitely somebody that gave me my first
Shout out
opportunity.
David. Yeah,
shout out to him.
we both played.
Yeah,
we both-
exactly.
Those are some. That was
Yeah.
like a military
No,
gospel
for
boot
sure.
camp.
So he
Yeah.
was the one that really gave me my introduction in the city.
Nice.
And then that led to just connecting with different people. Then I met and worked with this producer named Teddy P. Shout out to Teddy P. He is definitely. I told him the last time he was here, like he called me one day to do a live recording for, he called me like, bro, yo, there's this church that's trying to do a live recording. Are you able to like track, live sessions? I was like, yeah, sure. Never did this before.
Yeah.
That's
Teddy,
the thing
I-
about Corey.
I never did this before.
Willing to
Teddy.
wing it.
Right. Right.
That's one thing. Absolutely.
So I had to
Don't
go
jump
figure
out there.
stuff
Actually,
out.
let's pause
Yeah.
there because
Yeah.
that's a good lesson. You can't like. I am a victim of sometimes overthinking.
Of course.
and I will.
Imposter syndrome and
you want everything like a perfectionist. You like it gotta be perfect first. Nah, Corey's the one who he be putting us in some situations.
uncomfortable.
We gonna figure it
situation.
out.
Oh my boy.
Yeah.
We gonna figure it out.
Atlanta, that first day where we were even here, me playing with y'all, with David and stuff.
And
we were
Cherry
like,
Fire.
Look, we used to be in a room right across from where we are right now, and he just send the music. Like, yeah, Ken, we got a gig this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't have another bass player.
Lock
You're
in.
up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. We gonna figure it out.
And it just was like I knew. I'm a pianist by nature, but I was transitioning to bass. Bass actually like got me through the door here because
Right,
obviously
right,
you were
exactly.
the main board player in the house. So it was like, we got a main board player already. Hey, if you want to get these gigs right now,
Right.
let's get your bass. Let's get your bass up. So Corey's
yeah.
for those, if you've ever played with me, I'm a stickler. But that guy's like a stickler on steroids. So it's like,
And then shout out to my boy Sam Williams.
Sam
he
is a
is
super stickler.
If you think I was a stickler,
oh, not stickler on steroids.
He probably made me more a
a
stickler
stickler, yeah.
because working with him.
Yeah, and it all worked for the better, but
Right.
it was all about the product.
Right,
So
no, for sure.
it didn't matter. Okay, yeah, we out to the wolves. We have this time to practice, but he knew he could trust me enough to know that Kem gonna sit down
Right,
here
right,
however
right.
many hours,
Right.
and he gonna figure it out. And
Right.
then when we come together, we put it together, and
Yeah,
at
sure.
that point, the finishing product had to always be excellent. And I always tell Corey like, you always aided me in like. I was glad to know that it wasn't just me that felt that way. Like, because I had to be, I was the quote unquote man in my circles of like trying to tell people like, you gotta do this. Nah,
Here's the bar.
this is the bar. And then like sitting next to him, it was like he telling me, okay, that's cool, but like, this another bar, bring that up. So like, let's talk about it, Kyle.
Yeah.
him throwing us.
I mean,
throwing to the
there's a
wolves.
few lessons in that
Yeah.
I want to point out.
Yeah.
So first thing is being ready at all times.
That's it.
You sometimes you're not ready.
Yeah.
But you gotta be
get
ready at all
ready.
times.
That's it. Yeah.
I know it sounds contradictory, but it's like you just have to know. Be up. Okay, I think the most important lesson I learned through all of this, that was taught to me again by Thaddeus. is be a problem solver.
Yeah.
In any industry, you know, it don't matter what you're doing, whether you're creative or not.
Yeah.
Be a problem solver, and so that carried me through my adulthood.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, that's one of the roles I play in our dynamic. You know, like we have a problem and I just gotta figure it out.
Yeah, just figure it
You know
out.
what I mean?
Nah, for sure.
And then there's not being afraid to take the risk or don't, you know, like obviously calculated risk is the key, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, don't let certain things, you never know what's gonna happen from something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like take the risk, take the chance. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Trust yourself, know yourself, and take the risk.
Yeah.
Because the risk has brought me. Let me tell you, the risk. We didn't talk about this, but the risk put me on a 6-month contract on a cruise ship
Yeah.
where I was singing.
Yeah.
That was the risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always
So-
say that imperfectly doing has done more for me than perfectly doing ever has.
That's it.
That's why I recognize about my life. Like
Mm-hmm.
the moments that I went and did something where I didn't have it all figured out, or I didn't have like the best answer, I might not have been the best musician in the circle, but for some reason God gave me the platform or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like those risks that I took, and I did it like scared, I did it like whatever, but I did it, it reaped the most benefit than
Mm-hmm. For
just
sure.
sitting down and saying, well, I don't want to go do this audition because I don't think I'm going to be that good or
It
whatever.
paralyzes you.
Oh, fear is the worst.
Yeah.
Fear
So
is the worst.
for me, sometimes I can't think, just do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I think, I gonna scare myself.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? No, serious.
That's
real.
wild though. That's
It's like
wild
you're
though.
psych- you gotta psych
I
yourself
just say
out.
I say yes before I think about it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
shoot,
And then it's like,
why
oh,
just do?
crap. Yeah.
Yep. The amount of matter of fact. Nah. This one was a calculated, because we leading up to the Grammy, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one was a calculated thing, but nonetheless, yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to pause there and say yes. Like Cori definitely puts us in
Uncomfortable
situations.
situations.
Yeah, but okay. I don't want, because we said a lot in that arena. I don't want to say don't put your best foot forward.
No, not at all.
Because you want to put your, like, the reason we take the risk is because there's this like template that we've set up for ourselves, like
Yeah,
being on time, being
Right.
reliable,
Right.
letting your yes be a yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's these principles that we live by that universally works to where when we put in a situation, being a problem solver. So when we put in a situation, like we know, we may not know in the moment, or when we say yes,
Yeah.
we may not know how we're gonna accomplish it,
Yeah.
but we know that we have the things it takes
Yeah.
to accomplish it well,
Right.
or at least reasonable enough to get through this, and then we're gonna figure out, okay, what we needed to do better.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. So yeah, it's not just jumping out there. Like it's over time building certain principles that are the standard and the foundation that allow us to be able to take a risk and know that, hey, things to keep us in that circle, right? Like, you know, you don't want to just go in there and like, wow, willy-nilly. Being on time is like, that's like the bare minimum, right? Like coming prepared, you know what I'm saying? If you're in a band or you're at your job, whatever, like if you have a meeting, you have a rehearsal, whatever, know your material, you know what I'm saying? Don't be that person where like everybody looking like you holding back the team or whatever. And
Do your research, like, because even with coming prepared, sometimes you're really not prepared,
Right.
But if you researched, you kind of have an idea of the things you might need,
Right.
You know, to
Right.
make, to at least be okay, you know,
Yeah.
in situations.
Correct.
Yeah. So Teddy
that's
P.
the story. Yeah,
right.
so Teddy P gave me the call, like, bro, you know, church need, you know, to do a live recording. I didn't really, I've never done
we can
a
say
live
no.
session.
Yeah, it don't matter, right,
at that
right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my very first one.
Yeah.
So I went
It's
in.
a long ways from there at this
Yeah,
point.
I talked to one of my
Right.
boys,
Grammy
Ramon.
Award winner.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So,
Two times.
He said that. When I talked to one of my boys, Ramon Gaskin at the time.
Yeah.
He was talking about, you know, live recordings, and he was explaining to me, you know, there's a process and stuff. So I had to get ready real quick.
Yeah.
I get like a little rock case, my first little rock case, pour out my gear in there, roll that thing in. You know what I mean? Set everything up the best
Yeah.
I could, you know, record it. They allowed me to mix the record. That's where I met Chandler Moore was at. It was All Nations, Atlanta at the time.
Yeah.
Whoa. So hold
Yeah.
on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Your first live recording.
Yeah. Chan don't even know that. But yeah.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. Y'all won Grammys together. Though.
Yeah,
your first live recording that you could have easily said no to because you was too scared because you had never done it.
Yep.
You met the person that you won your 2 Grammys with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very first. live recording.
Very
Yeah,
crazy.
right there in Atlanta,
Right.
All Nations, Atlanta.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
well, we gotta take a quick pause. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
That's
full
wild.
circles.
Yeah. And I didn't even think about it like that.
Bro.
Yeah.
If you didn't go there,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure.
You definitely wouldn't be here.
For sure.
For sure wouldn't be here.
sure.
Because Chandler was absolutely in Chandler dog, like that's our brother, dog. Like
Yeah.
He always look out.
he over time, like
Because he know he could trust y'all.
Yeah,
obviously.
it was a. So let's keep
go
going
ahead.
so you
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
the progression. So
Yeah.
I did that session, and then they decided that they wanted to do. That was a single. It was like one song we did.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, like we're gonna do a record. So Chan called me back again. This time I think he was like, pretty much like producer of this one. He was over it. So he called me like, yeah, bro, we're gonna do a live session. He asked me like, what you need, you know what I mean? Like make sure I'm good. We talked numbers, all that stuff. We locked it in. We did the session. I mixed that record as well. Which that's that one record I probably put like my all into. Like I put my all into that record.
yeah, and
Which record
I had
was this?
to.
This was
This
Harris
is
from
this is
Heaven.
the
Okay.
church. The
All
church
Nations.
had
All
a
Nations,
they did a recording.
was- yep.
Chandler Moore was leading as well as Benita, and then they had guest leaders as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
One of the people on Maverick, I forgot her name, but she's on there too.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, we did that session. And I think not too long after that, the pandemic happened.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
It was January 2019.
yep. So the pandemic happened, and then the same Church All Nations, they was doing like pre-recordings at the time, like full production.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
At this
Chandler
point-
called me again.
Yeah, they were setting the bar on
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were doing
So at that
really
point, there was
creative.
no real
Yeah,
templates.
yeah. At the
Nobody.
time, like,
if you didn't have a decent already media,
This might be hard to say,
Yeah.
but I think it's probably the truth. I think All Nations at the time of the pandemic was maybe like one of the first leading churches in high level production, like, and then
make that-
all the churches after that follow suit.
Yeah.
But I would say like they was one of the first to really like do like production during the pandemic.
oh wow.
So yeah, Chandler called me for that again. And like Kyle said, always show up on time, execute, great mixes. I, make sure I presented like good quality work.
Yeah.
And then I think from there, once he got married and he moved away, we stayed in contact. And then years later, he had like a birthday. He had a birthday,
Like it's like a worship night he put together.
yeah, for his
kind of
birthday.
thing.
He just wanted to spend like a night of worship.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted for his birthday.
Yeah,
a night of
yeah.
worship at his house
Yeah.
with his friends.
Yeah, it was
So-
the house was new and it was mainly his friends, like
Yeah.
closer circles.
Yeah.
So he hit me up like, yo, bro, I want to do this, join in Texas. So, he flew me and Kyle out to Texas to his house. We did the session. We met Todd Galbraith at his
at the
at his
house.
house.
Yeah.
And I told Chan like, yo, I heard that, Todd about to do a recording. Like, I would love to do that one too, you know what I mean? And then he connected the dots. I got shout out a few people. It was him, Sam Simon, Greg Johnson.
Mhm, Greg Johnson.
I can't think of anybody else, but for sure, Matt as well, from Ford City.
Matt Edwards.
Yep. Oh, you said that already.
No,
okay,
I
okay,
thought,
okay.
but no, Sam Simon and Greg Johnson were like
Yeah,
instrumental
more,
in getting us to
getting
Matt.
to Matt, and
Matt
then
Edwards.
Matt,
Yeah,
and,
and Matt was
Dante Latson, approved or made it official that we was doing the
Yeah.
Todd recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because they had other plans before.
Right,
we
before
were
bringing
in,
us on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then literally, the Todd session, I felt like, out of sight, out of mind. But if you freshen somebody's mind, is like Cori just did, because Chandler was also on the Todd session. So, and then I was at his house like a few weeks before that.
Right.
So like
inside.
everything is like back
Yeah,
to back. So
yeah.
Chan's session at his house, then right after that was Todd's session, and then right after that, I remember this like yesterday, bro. I was in the kitchen. It was a Saturday night. I was washing some dishes. Literally, I remember this like yesterday.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Chan called me. He like, bro, I have this. You free?
Yeah.
such and such dates, to do a session with Mav. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have a conference that was happening at that time.
Yeah.
So I had to like
And Mav,
rearrange.
for those who don't know, Maverick City,
yeah,
the gospel,
Yeah.
great gospel group. That's
Yeah. So
killing it right now.
yeah. So, he was like, yo, bro, you ever go to this session? I was like, yeah, bro. I definitely go make it happen. So, I remember, he connected me with a production manager. And then once everything was a go, like I couldn't believe that this was really happening in real time.
Wait, you skipping a lot of things. So let's go back to the first, because information, right? So
Yeah.
first of all, okay, yes, we did this for Chandler, but again, we did it for Chandler, so we didn't necessarily get paid a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
So sometimes we miss an opportunity because it don't have a dollar sign in front of it.
Right.
Don't do that. You know what I mean? Again, be wise about it.
Yeah.
Don't let people,
Yeah.
con you into.
Right.
But sometimes the most valuable currency is a relationship.
Absolutely.
So we didn't necessarily get. And then for the Todd thing, you know what I'm saying? So it led, but making those sacrifices and making those decisions led us to now the Mav, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if we hadn't done,
Show and prove.
if we had stuck to, okay, well, this is our price,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh well, if we had said that, let's say for Todd, then it would have, it would have stopped the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just as a lesson.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then I it's two sides to it. I agree. You said it perfectly. Don't be stupid.
Right.
And stupid being, I'm not saying anybody is stupid. Don't be naive.
Right.
Maybe that's a better
Right,
word.
right.
Don't be naive. Know your value, know your worth. But however, there are sometimes you have to look at the whole pie and say, what can I gain from this, even if it's not like financial gain? And a lot of the times, a lot of our like little come ups are hidden in there somewhere.
Yep.
And a lot of time people do hinder themselves by like, making it about the money or whatever.
Yeah.
But
and I've seen that a lot.
yeah,
A lot.
yeah, a lot. People
Yeah.
kind of work their way out of situations.
So I would say this. Relationship is currency.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the strongest one.
Yeah, like, like some people, like, I've seen, just working alongside, different people and just seeing how different people approach things.
Yeah.
And, some people are literally, like, they bought their money.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They'll do anything.
yeah, and I feel like,
There's a level of that you gotta have.
yeah, but I think they learn hard lessons to where, like, yeah, bro, like you're not the only person that's good out here. Like I could call somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
So-
there's people, we see a lot, people getting called that's not as skilled.
Right.
But just because I like your energy,
Right.
I calling you instead of this person.
Right. So yeah, there's a level of just humility and like kind of mixing that with like knowing your worth and your value,
Right.
and not talking yourself out of situation.
right,
A lot of
right,
people,
right.
yeah, is more so like your energy and your vibe. You could be the most talented person, but if I can't like get along with you, if you're not a team player, if I can't bring you into a session and like you could blend with people,
Right.
like it don't make sense because you killing the whole overall project, the quality of the project, and you killing the work environment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So before we get to like the Kirk Mav situation,
Yep.
there was one situation where I thought the Grammy was gonna come from before that, which
Oh.
still goes
yeah.
to Chan.
Yeah,
You want to
yes,
talk about that story quick?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I remember this
This
was
bef-
another Saturday night actually.
And before he goes there,
Yeah.
this is about being ready at all times
Yep.
and just having your ducks in such a row that like last minute or whatever minute you have your stuff ready to go because you never know.
Right.
For sure.
And to
So
preface, because I don't know if you can preface it this way, all this time after the All Nations Church and whatever,
Yeah.
all this time, even before Chan and after Chan moved, he called us for different things.
different
Yeah.
random
Like
stuff.
he was always like he would call me sometimes,
Like, mix this.
randomly.
I
You
need to
call
mix
Cori
this, blah, blah,
randomly,
blah.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're working with him.
Yeah.
So right.
Yeah. So now I remember.
So he trusts y'all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
what-
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
the
yeah,
relationship
yeah.
is there.
Yeah.
Like we established, like we consistent, we reliable.
Yeah.
Right.
Turnaround times are
turnaround
great.
times,
Keeping my word.
Deadlines,
Yep.
we gonna stay up till
Meet
3 in the
that.
morning.
Yeah.
you
Just to
know,
make sure it's there.
all that
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember. Yeah, I know you want to talk about that. So I remember this was a Saturday night as well. Chandler, he had hit me up like, bro, I really need to record a session for Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
He was doing a feature on us on like 2 songs with him, and he was like, bro, I gonna be in town. Because I think he had like a connection
Yeah.
with
He
Atlanta.
was in Miami.
had a
and he
layover.
was, he was trying to get back to Dallas.
So he was gonna
Yeah.
do the session in the layover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was going. Yeah. So he pretty much got like a later flight.
Yeah.
So that he could like be here for a few hours. So he pretty much he's like, bro, you able to do the session? So I had to like because that night I was supposed to hang with wifey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was,
Sacrifices.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
sacrifices. Shout out to my wife
Yeah.
because she really the MVP when it comes to
Yep.
time and she
Yeah.
takes the most sacrifices.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Like of everybody else.
Yeah.
She takes the most sacrifices. So anyways, I was like, yeah, babe, Chan trying to do this session for Justin Bieber. She was like, yeah, it's cool. Like that's a good opportunity. So, we set it up. Chan come through.
Yeah.
I'm literally in the room. Justin Bieber on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Chan talking to him like it's nothing. I'm
Yeah.
like, this happening in real time.
Yeah. Real
you know
time.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we did the
And you
session.
got that call the same day.
Same day.
I don't think it was prefaced that
Yeah,
way.
same day.
He got the call that day.
Yep.
Yeah, that day.
Saying, I'm coming in
I'm
town
gonna be in town in 2 hours.
in 2 hours. Can I come and record by you?
Yep.
To turn in because the album came out the next day. I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, they mix it the same night.
Yeah,
they mixed
same
it that
night.
Dropped
night,
that
yeah.
Sunday.
That Sunday, I remember. I remember
Because it was
you-
Easter Sunday or something like
Yep.
that.
Yes, that's exactly right. I remember you hit me. You were like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this
Yeah,
is
bro. Yeah, crazy.
Chandler Moore just said it."
Yeah.
I was
So,
like, "Yo, that's crazy."
That's just to
yeah,
show.
Working with Chandler taught us like that's actually the nature of the industry because
Yeah.
I can't tell you the amount of times he called like the
Needed
same
midnight
day
hours.
needing
Needed
something.
something
yeah,
the same day. Yep.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there was one time he called me like he texted me like, bro, it was like 11 o'clock. He was like, bro, I need this by like 12:30. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
but we always make it happen.
yeah, we make it happen. So that's why you keep
you know,
calling.
yeah, exactly. It's like he know he could depend on us.
yeah,
But I know we went through the whole segment. I just want to take a time to just like really just say thank you to Chandler because like
Yes.
I've texted him even after the Grammy. Like we've had conversations on the side, and one thing he told me, he was like, bro,
got you.
I got you, bro. I got you
Yeah.
for life. Like you don't gotta worry. Like I got you.
yeah,
And like he's kept his word.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
has.
Whenever there's opportunity, Chan would literally hit me like, bro, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely thankful. I don't even know, like at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have nothing that I could tangibly give Chan to say thanks.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he done on top right now. So it's like, but
Yeah, but
I don't
thank
have
you.
the words, but yeah.
Thank you,
like,
Chan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's beautiful.
Appreciate
man.
you, brother.
That's beautiful. So let's get to the Kirk.
okay.
Let's get to that. You get this
Right.
call now.
Okay.
He in the
This is the
kitchen
call of all
washing
calls.
dishes.
Yep.
Because this is the call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the call.
Right.
Where the call happened to be the call.
Yep.
So you get this call
Yep.
and you in the kitchen again?
yeah. So I was in the kitchen
So
for
the
that
kitchen
one.
is like that's like your good luck
yeah,
space.
I
like,
guess it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
okay.
wash your
Yeah.
dishes.
I like the kitchen
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And clean
for
your
different
microwave.
reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know who needed to hear that, but clean your microwave.
With a spaghetti stage you had there for last year.
Yeah.
Clean that up. That's not cute.
I clean the microwave cover, the plate cover, because it still have that old steam fish.
FYI thought of the day. Clean out
That's-
straight from
Clean your,
tile.
clean your microwave.
And the plate.
That is too funny.
Okay, so you get a call.
Yeah, so I get a call, and this was a quick turnaround too. I think the call was Saturday night. It was on Saturday night, and I think we had to probably like be on the road on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still live in Miami, by the way.
so
For
I had
all
to-
of this.
so I had to get Kyle a flight in
Yeah.
Monday
Yeah.
so we could prep and do what we need to do, pack the truck. It was, I would say this, that session was the hardest session to date. Yes, because it was very involved.
Yeah, we were very
We had
involved with.
to,
Yeah.
we had to pretty much get like equipment from 2 different backline companies. You know what I'm saying? Get a truck.
For those who don't know, backline is like all the instruments, you know,
of course.
bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the gear you would rent from like another company.
Yeah, the stuff
So-
you'd use, and then like PA would be the stuff you use to hear.
Yeah.
So we had to get those two things from two different places.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we head to Charleston, North Carolina,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah, that was a very, very hard day.
Yeah, that
so
was
we
tough.
woke up at like 6 a.m. You know, we had to drive from one. We had to first pack our stuff in the truck.
Oh yeah, and our stuff.
Yep. Then get to the first backline company, pack their stuff, rearrange everything.
Yeah. of
Right?
course. To fit the
To
other
fit
stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
Go to the next backline company and
Pack that
rearrange
stuff.
again.
Right.
So
rearrange,
we're looking
pack.
at like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
To then drive 5 hours.
Right.
To
Right.
Charleston. Right.
Right.
To then offload the truck, they didn't have help
Yeah, they
for
didn't
us
have.
at
Right,
the time.
right, right.
So it's just me, Kyle, and shout out to Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
Like offload the truck, set everything up. We brought in our guy, Tamara's husband.
Oh yeah, CL. Yeah,
we
Calvin.
brought in CL to help us, and he brought his brother to help us as well. Because
Yeah.
like at this point, I'm like trying to call people that's in the city.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that I know, like bro, we need help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we would have like a certain amount of hours. They got to do sound
course.
check in the morning.
Of course.
So
Right.
they came through, they helped us, offload, set everything up. And then we came back. It was like a 2-day process. So the next day we came in, finalized everything, did a sound check, recorded everything. So the next day, so let me just clarify. The next day was another 6 a.m. day. Or somewhere
So
early.
you just offloaded
Yep.
that. You definitely didn't go sleep before 4 a.m.
Yeah, so
Nah,
like
for
at
sure.
6 a.m. to let's say 3 a.m.
Yeah.
to then do like let's say 8 a.m. the next day.
No, it
Realistically.
was like 7.
7 the next day, right? To finish setting up, sound check, do the session. Session then probably end till like midnight. To then break down
down.
everything, pack the truck, and jump on the road at 5 a.m.
To head back
To
to
head back.
Georgia. So I
to
could make my
offload
flight.
again. Yeah.
Offload and then so I could make my flight.
Yeah.
And which I never did.
So that was like a 20. so the second day was like more than 24 hours.
Yeah.
yeah.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
But
Miserable.
worth it.
But worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was some challenges too with the venue. So the church that had that mass shooting in Charleston,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Muddy Manuel, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
So that was where we did those songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was.
Yeah,
I think it was
in
like.
the actual church.
I think they did it intentional because
Oh, no,
dropped it
absolutely.
On the,
Oh, absolutely.
The day they dropped it was like 7 years later. Or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
something like that.
Yeah, it was very intentional.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
that was a whole different experience too, because it's it's like a historical.
Yeah, and it's
even
not-
before that, like
And
it was a
then- yeah,
it's
historical.
not state-of-the-art setup or
and there
anything.
is like a feeling in the church, like you feel it.
Yeah.
like it's weird. I don't know how to explain
Yeah,
it.
there was this aura in there, like you felt the like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like sacred. Like it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
was-
yeah, it was challenging because that's another thing in our just a sneak behind the curtain. Like our job is so interesting because we don't always have the best like space, because obviously we gotta walk into a room and make it make sense.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like so
make
No
something
excuses.
out of nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No
yeah.
excuses. Just like y'all are professionals, make it happen.
Right,
yeah.
right. So we and because we were so involved with the Mav Kirk, we had to figure out, okay, where we gonna put the band, where we gonna put ourselves,
Right.
because we need to be like closed off enough that we're not hearing. Yeah, it usually is a lot of brain power.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
Yeah, so
Problem solving. Like
Yeah,
you said
problem
earlier.
solving.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's beautiful. So y'all get through all of that. You mixed and mastered it as well?
No, we just recorded
You
it.
recorded,
Yeah.
mixed and mastered.
Yeah,
got-
send the files off. They did their thing.
it went.
Yep.
Obviously, the album was Kingdom,
Yeah.
Volume 1,
Yeah.
book one or something like that. And
yeah.
then they came out with a deluxe, and I did a couple songs, post-production songs on the deluxe.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Goes out, and and another thing in this industry, you kind of do and you kind of forget. That's
Yeah.
another part. It's like
Oh, yeah.
you can't. So you just was with Kirk the Goat, Maverick City, all of this, and once again, y'all deal with a lot
Yeah.
of big names on a regular. But the music industry part, sometimes things, this is another thing for people, for people who want to be in the music industry or whatever. Sometimes you might record something, you might produce something, and that thing disappears. Like it never comes to light.
Right.
You never. Now, obviously, y'all knew that the album was going to happen because there's a whole thing around
Right,
it.
right.
But you also know that you could produce something, and it never see the light
Right,
of day.
right, that's true.
You could
Oh,
mix something,
boy.
put all your energy into it.
The crazy thing is, we always in work mode.
Yeah.
That once we finish a project, we on to the next thing. I ain't even thinking about this project.
Right.
Like, and then in the moment, you just thinking work. I ain't doing the session. I just think it's a great opportunity. But
Right.
I ain't thinking about no Grammy. I ain't thinking about nothing.
You don't have time to think about
that.
No.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
try and get the job done. Try and make sure we
Try and
execute.
get through it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when we finish with that, is on to the next thing.
Right.
Yeah, because
I'm
we
like,
gotta figure
okay,
out.
so the record dropping next week. Okay, dope. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was gonna drop. You know, I don't know the date on when it's gonna drop.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
drop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, it get, you know, it's in consideration for a Grammy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah. Nominated.
Then
Yeah.
it's nominated. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like you thinking about them stuff.
Yeah.
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 I mean?
That's like you don't have time to think.
Yeah, I
So
got time
have
to think about
I
that.
literally mix in and
Right.
and
I got
record
other
it the next
deadlines I
day.
got to worry about.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So where were y'all when? Now we get to obviously the album release, all that. Where were you on Grammy night? Now, did you find out when everybody else found out? Did you have like maybe a couple hours ahead where you found out? 'Cause I remember you hit my phone.
Yeah.
It was close somewhere. Obviously, the unfortunately the gospel side of the Grammys it doesn't
It's not
air.
televised. Yeah.
We got to do better Grammys.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna talk. the-
it didn't air? Cause okay, maybe it didn't air.
No.
I did see
No.
that Chandler had like post the moment.
Yeah, he
I
probably.
don't know if it
remember,
was-
but
I don't know
remember
if it
people
was.
there for him.
Got it.
Somebody probably
Okay,
filming
but it
for
probably
him.
wasn't on
No,
there.
it wasn't
Oh,
on
no.
here. I'm telling you, it
Oh,
wasn't
It's
on
not
here.
usually.
I didn't
know
know
that.
that. I
No.
didn't
There's a lot
So-
of categories that's not.
Once
covered.
again, well, we talking about
That's
because
crazy.
my boys just win 2 Grammys.
I didn't
so
know that.
Grammy committee. This is not from them. This is from me. With
Ah.
love. Let's give gospel music a little more
A little bly.
a little bly,
As we
say back home.
Yeah.
Let's get them, or bly means let's give them a little respect, a little love, show them a little vibes.
Yeah.
Let's give them some attention.
Yeah, I didn't know that it didn't air.
No, it didn't air. So
That's crazy.
So when you hit me, I didn't know. I was like,
Got
oh,
you.
I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
So one of my good friends, Junior Lee, he texts me like, bro, you just win 2 freaking Grammys. I'm like, wait, what?
Where were you? Where
I
what
was
were you doing?
literally at another church service mixing somebody's stream.
Yeah, and I was at somebody's wedding taking pictures because I do photography sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I say, on to the next thing. I ain't
Yeah.
thinking about Grammys.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen that day.
Yeah,
You
you
know
know
what
the
I'm saying?
Grammys
But-
were that day. Yeah,
Yeah, like, I
but you
didn't
weren't
even-
thinking about
Nah.
like cross my fingers, hope to win.
Right,
Sitting
nah,
down,
it wasn't
like,
none of
waiting
that.
for the
Yeah,
text.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we working.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
and
it.
the whole time I'm like, you serious, my boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's beautiful,
Surreal.
man. So there's a lot of lessons in this episode as we wrap up. And I think one of the main lessons is just keep working. Like just keep working. Don't
Stay consistent.
Don't really look up at the scoreboard. Like just keep shooting. Just
Yeah.
keep taking shots. Keep going hard. Keep finessing your craft. Keep getting better. Keep your word. Do the intangibles. You know,
Be professional.
professional. You know what I'm saying? Work at your craft. Treat people nice, well, so that they want to keep you in the circle.
And like I'll say this again.
Yeah.
Relationship is currency.
That's it. Relationship is.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to clip that. We're gonna have to clip that, guys. Relationship is currency.
Absolutely.
A lot of where I am today is because of relationships. You know what I'm saying? People, they think that your energy and your value is worth being a part of whatever they're building. And that's a blessing because they could call anybody else in the world.
Anybody else.
And especially for us from y'all from 32 square miles. I'm from 84 square miles. It doesn't matter how much square mile we're from. You combine that plus add on a couple Caribbean islands, it ain't gonna equal the size of Georgia.
Right now.
So for us to come up here to the big Americas, that was scary in itself.
Yep.
A lot of the people where we from, they don't even want to do that. They're afraid of that. You know, it's like, yo, I just stick with what I'm comfortable with. And that
That's
kind of.
and then just to throw in there.
Go ahead.
Hey, one thing I would say, like that comfort zone.
Yeah,
you gotta get out of that comfort zone.
Man.
Yeah, like you know, a lot of people stuck just because they don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you holding yourself back.
Yeah, recognize the king and queen in yourself.
like,
you
yeah.
be-
You know,
you made for more than whatever
Growth
it is you do.
comes from discomfort.
That's it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for
Like
sure.
that's the only way you can move is because you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You lift weights, you
Right.
soar,
Right.
but you know that your muscles growing.
Exactly.
Like literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah. And man, I just want to say proud of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it,
Appreciate it.
bro.
all of that is, all of the Grammy is cool, all of that is cool. That's cool.
Appreciate it.
But y'all were always the same people the whole time.
So
The whole
That's,
time.
that's
So now I feel like now is a good time for me to say what I wanted to say earlier. Where I was going to say, like with your platform, like I
Yes.
feel like, if it wasn't for your post, because literally, I ain't even get to really like look at everything because like I
Yeah.
still in work mode, so I ain't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
get to
yeah.
look at everything.
Yeah, we
I
still
respond
trying to
to
meet
everybody.
deadlines.
Yeah.
But I've seen like the VI consortium, that's what they call it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
I seen
yeah,
that. I
consortium,
see,
yeah.
I know Daily News. I reach out,
Yeah,
send stuff
yeah.
to them,
Yeah.
and there's like other, I think like VI Source magazine or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Source.
But I did see a lot of people like how people knew that there was like, I know obviously like Tyron, he's
yeah,
like,
yeah. He was the main.
he's the face of like
of Virgin
of
Islands
VI.
music.
So
Absolutely.
obviously people would have known,
Connect with him faster. Yeah.
But I don't, we just in the background. Nobody don't really know about us. So it's like, like if it wasn't for your platform and your post, like all
Your
of the other
decision to use your
VI,
platform that way.
yeah, all of the other people, all of the other outlets wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That there was 2 other people from VI that actually like won Grammys.
Oh wow.
So for me, I know it's like Fly,
Young intellectual. Yeah.
but I feel like it still stands for what it is.
Yeah.
For your information, there's 2 other guys for your
Right.
information.
Well, that was the pun I played.
Yeah,
on
I
it.
know, but,
exactly,
but
yeah.
it is true.
Yeah, it's
to-
just true to
what it
itself.
is.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
well,
saying?
thank you.
'Cause I
you.
really
Nah,
felt
thank you,
like,
bro. Thank
I
you.
feel like, your platform is literally like, oh, by the way, for your information, such and such.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
correct, correct.
Yeah.
And I got shout out. We shouted him out a couple of times, but Delhi was a part of that too because I posted.
Yeah.
Delhi was the first major voice or the most influential person. He went and took all my posts and like posted it on his platform. I was like, yo, shout out to FYI.
Yep.
Cause he didn't know at Yaya win too. So of
Gotcha.
course that's your family,
Yeah.
that's your god brother. He was like, oh crap, like
Yeah.
Cori and winner grab. So when he blast that, it
Yeah,
took
it
the
just took-
level
yeah,
up
yeah.
another
No, for
level.
sure.
And then that's when like even more people started seeing
Yeah,
it.
so shout out to Delhi too.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Delhi
shout
too
out
as
to
well on that. And but yeah, no, man, it was. I just wanted to surprise y'all because when you texted me, I was like, bro, I felt like I won it. You know what I'm saying? Like
and
straight
there's
up.
a
That's
lot
real.
of people that said exactly what you told me.
Yeah, I felt like
Like
I felt like
I had a bunch of people call me or text me like, bro, I feel like I won a Grammy.
I
too,
feel like I
just
won a
because
Grammy
you
too.
win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be in a place where I gonna make it seem like it's I win the Grammy. I want to like elevate.
for
I
sure.
want to elevate my boys. Like,
Yeah.
and I realized
Facts.
obviously shout out Tyron, that's the homie. Shout out Masai, that's the homie. But my thing was, yo, these man win 2 actually, respectfully to everybody else.
Right.
2 Grammys on the same night. And they're from the same Virgin Islands. And for your information, FYI,
Pun intended.
yeah, pun intended, literally. Let's also talk about them. So yeah, no, man.
Yeah.
The feeling is mutual, bro. Y'all are like really my good friends. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we went through a lot of trenches together. So the journey ain't even parallel. It literally was like this, like
Yeah, for sure.
intertwined. So
For sure.
So bro, I always tell you all the time, like, just keep working, keep grinding. Like, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not them type of people that I feel like that was my blessing. I had to tell people all the time, like, God don't make mistakes. Your blessing, it wasn't my blessing.
Yeah.
That's your blessing.
Right.
And I am blessed to see your blessing.
No, for
I'm
sure.
glad I was alive to see it. And
yeah,
go
and
ahead.
just to even talk, just like favor on you as well. Like, like you interviewing me right now, doing a podcast, but in the near future, Rihanna gonna be in this chair or somebody else major. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like, that's where you going. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Just
I
to like,
received that.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Like,
yeah.
No doubt.
this is just the beginning. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
no,
saying? Like,
absolutely.
we just happen to be one of the first.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of my major takeaways. This is just the beginning because we win the Grammy, and you want to celebrate more in life. Like, you make sure you celebrate your wins more.
Yeah.
But that's the beginning, man.
Yeah, of course.
We ain't stopping. Like,
Yeah.
we celebrating, and we love and we appreciate everybody words of encouragement, and but not a but semicolon.
Yeah.
This is the beginning, man.
Yeah.
That we gonna get a Grammy that is ours from the beginning to the end. As in the process, we was the one doing everything, you know, not just the recording engineer, but you know what I'm saying. Even we, like we said, we's musicians and artists and singers, so
different realms.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's more to come. And
more to come.
And And on the flip side, the Grammy don't define y'all. It's just
No.
it's just a beautiful bow on one chapter. Like it's just
Sure.
it encourages you, it makes you feel good, and it raises
Mm-hmm.
you up as it should. And I think in a way it'll give you access to another level because of what you've achieved. But at the end of the day, just keep doing the work. And that's
sure.
what that ain't for y'all. Y'all know that. Because obviously this whole conversation is about just working.
Mm-hmm.
But for those at home, like, you know, don't let the accolades and all that kind of stuff, don't let that define you to the point of if you win it or lose it, that's gonna make or break or justify what you're doing. Like,
Right,
just keep it's about purpose. You know what I'm saying? If you don't walk in your purpose and you don't do what it is that you feel like that you know
Absolutely.
you're supposed to be doing, that's really where you don't really fulfill your life. So
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? Like as we wrap this up, just like really walking your purpose. That's what these guys did. That's
for
what they
sure.
are doing. That's what I'm doing in what I believe I'm here to do, which is inform, inspire, interact. And I just wanted to like really just bring my brothers them on the platform and say, yo, congratulations. Tell the
appreciate that,
story.
man.
We appreciate you, bro.
Amplify it to the mountaintop, because I know these man is hermit and they going back in there. They gone back in their shell after this,
Yeah.
after these cameras shut
By
off.
the way, this is my first ever talking on camera ever.
Crazy.
And hopefully it ain't gonna be too often. But
Nah.
Well,
If them man just say it's the beginning of more Grammys, so it's gonna happen more.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
I
fortunately,
mean-
you will have to be in front of more cameras, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
okay.
glad that
It's
it
okay.
was with me
Nah, for sure.
one of your first.
For sure.
And on that note, man, y'all have tell people where they can
Yeah.
find you. Let them know what y'all have, what you're working on, what to look forward to next.
So I would say this because he probably not gonna say it, but this year we trying. I personally want to focus on Kyle as an artist. Like, I feel like a lot of what we're doing right now is going to soon, like, I guess the spotlight is going to be on his artistry. Like all the audio stuff we're doing,
Right, the
video
vocal
stuff.
arranging,
By the way,
this
shout out
stuff.
to David Jr. that's doing the video right
Yeah,
now.
okay, yes, thank you, David.
David
Thank you, David. Thank
Jr.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So like even like doing the video stuff, eventually like all that stuff is going to be used towards his artistry. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying, in the
Yeah.
future. So that's something that I really want to work on, like upcoming. That's
Yeah.
like one priority. Like that's going to become priority.
Guys, this
Cause we spend a lot of time working on other people's music.
right. And you ain't
yes.
forget that this guy is
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's the voice.
Yeah, like
And
I
that guy is the
know a
voice.
lot of people from back home never really hear him sing, but
Yeah.
definitely check him out. Check out his Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Kyle Francis Music.
He has to update it as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
we'll talk
But-
about that.
But you could you put
Yeah.
a name in there. There's enough to show you that this guy is the voice. Absolutely.
Not for sure.
And he's just on his path to still getting back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what that looks like.
But I promise you, like VI, like this man is probably like one of the greatest that just haven't become great yet in the eyes of the
Yeah,
public.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like he just mark my words, whatever day today is.
Yeah.
Mark my words, y'all gonna see him on somebody's stage someplace.
Oh, absolutely.
Real soon.
As he should be.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
we can stop now.
Yeah. He's uncomfortable. It's okay. Kyle, what do you want him to look forward to for you? And where can we find you, Corey? Your Instagram.
So I'll just give y'all the studio Instagram,
Yeah.
CPA Studios ATL.
Fair
So
enough.
that's pretty much.
He's like, go follow the work.
Yeah,
Don't
follow
worry
the
about
work.
it.
You gotta
Go-
follow my personal life. Go follow the work.
Go follow Jesus. CPA
Follow
Studios,
Jesus.
right? CPA Studios ATL at gmail.com as well. If you want to reach out to us for anything,
Yep.
that's where you find us. We probably put it on the screen or something.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we should. My guys, thank y'all for pulling
Yeah, no
up.
problem, man. But I just want to just end on just some encouraging vibes.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would just say like, yo, like whatever your dream is, like, you know what I'm saying, no matter where you're from, like I would just say, you know, like put your dreams out in the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? Like literally say it out loud, you know what I'm saying? And like hard work, like Kemuel was saying, hard work. Like eventually somebody gonna see the hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like eventually gonna manifest into reality. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
my encouragement is like, you know, like I from St. Thomas, you know what I'm saying? Like a very small island, like
Who
you
would've
know,
thought?
like yeah, like you know how many millions of thousands of millions of people that wish they could win a Grammy?
Yeah.
and like little old me from St. Thomas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
doing your
saying?
work,
Just
mind your
minding my business. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out T-Ron. That's the name of his company. Minding our business records.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just to show, like, if I could do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to just give a little encouragement
No, absolutely.
on the way out.
No, that's
Yeah.
necessary. Kai, you have anything to add to that?
Nah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
it. He tied it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. Don't it don't matter where you're from. Just
Yeah.
don't limit yourself and don't let where you're from limit yourself. Just keep
for
dreaming
sure.
big.
For sure.
Man, thank y'all for tuning into the Flying Intellectual podcast. I'm your host, Kem. And once again, you can find me at Flying Intellectual on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Mr. FYI _FYI. Follow the YouTube. YouTube, we're definitely going to put a lot of effort into our YouTube this year. That's Flying Intellectual Media. And yeah, we'll see you again soon with the next episode. Still talking about informing, inspiring, and interacting with our community. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
VI for life.
We up.
Yeah.
We up.
Yes, I.
What up, intellectuals? Thanks for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to be informed of all things FYI.